Hello and welcome to Redeeming Thunder. This prophetic word is for the Ordained Spouse series. This is chapter 70, part 2, given to me on 2/13/2026. That is approximately 4 months ago, as I am recording this in the month of June. And this is all a confirmation that you have lived these moments. Because you have been living these moments since February, ongoing, even into June. And what's needed to be known is you are on the spotlight. All eyes are on you. But also, there is a divine covering over you for the Esthers in this hour. So, the Most High wants you to know that the ordained spouse union is not starting, it's not commencing later down the road. It has already commenced and it started officially in March. But with this prophetic word, what is being stated is relevant to when the individual claimed you for him, as his, has considered to imprint on you, has so men, the way they love without actually saying the words, without actually saying I like you, okay, they show it through actions. So throughout this time frame, you are going to be receiving divine revelations of body language on this channel. So it starts now. And the Most High wants you to read between the lines. Okay? He wants you to be also emotionally intelligent with great interpersonal communication skills. And part of that is also reading body language. So, because for some of you, you feel like when is worried, maybe that when is this going to start? And maybe it has already started. Okay? And the prophetic words that have been understood now, very common, very much given to many prophets and prophetesses, is that a shy guy is coming for you. So you will need to know the body language to read between the lines, because shy guys do not just blurt it out, okay? They will not do it that way. And many men in general, shy or not, the way they decide to express affections and interest is through body language first. Okay? So now let me tell you what was stated while being in the secret place with the Most High. He speaks to me in Hebrew and he said, Shala yi ata samata. So these words mean to send someone for someone. It's a prize for you. The ye also means admiration. Okay. And a shock. So this word is very pivotal because he's confirming who he has sent. He's telling you today. So for those of you who have been a bit confused, not sure, getting an inkling of who it was, today is the day that he's going to give you confirmation. Okay? Which is wonderful. Now it's crystal clear. Okay? But what was most fascinating about this prophetic word is he notices you, and he's throughout this journey, as you continue on with the chapters of 70 going into 80, chapter 80, you're going to understand the process, the beautiful love story, and you're going to see that he chose you a long time ago. Okay? He chose you a long time ago. And the way men choose you is they decide in their heart and mind that you are the one that they want to protect. You are the one that they want to cover. Because men don't do that for everybody. Okay? They choose one person to be that way with. And it's quite romantic. So you're going to want to stay tuned. Like and subscribe. Okay? Send to those who need to hear this. Put in the description, I am ready to receive my covenant marriage. Okay? Put in the description a heart emoji and a twinkle star emoji, because you're believing in miracles. And it's very important to come into an agreement with a prophetic word, because that is how it manifests into your life. Okay, all of this is going to be occurring in your life because you decided to believe in the divine alignment. And because both of you are like commingling together, okay? You are interacting together. There is favor and grace upon it automatically. So it's going to be easy breezy connections. And it's very cute and romantic. Okay? So stay tuned. Now let's break down a bit more of this prophetic word. Ata means to wrap, to cover, to envelop. There is an intimate relationship with the Most High. And then the Most High is giving that example of himself with you as how your relationship with this individual is going to be so intimate. And he's going to enwrap and cover you, envelop you with his attention and protection and genuine care. That you will feel the attribute of love from heaven because this person expresses it genuinely. But he's not going to say it, the word love, yet, okay? So just because he didn't say the word love yet doesn't mean that he doesn't. Just because he didn't, be all like obvious, it doesn't mean he's showing you in these subtle ways, and he's hoping that you grasp these subliminal signals. Okay? And because you're a woman listening to this, okay, for just being a woman in general, you just don't, I don't want you to miss your signals, what this individual is trying to tell you, okay? I don't want you to miss it, because you think like a woman, you're expecting a more direct manner of approach, okay? And it's not going to be that way. And once you learn these body language signals, you'll be like, oh my gosh, he said it a long time ago. Oh my gosh, he was interested in me such a long time ago. I get it now. I understand. And especially if you're a woman that's very shy, this is very helpful. Okay? So let's read on. Samata means told by Yahuwah, or it also means Yahuwah, the Most High, has heard. So he's saying that the creator of the heavens is telling you something. That he has a surprise for you and he sent someone for you. Hallelujah. And this person wants to cover you. In other words, the word cover is very significant. It's not just like cover you with his arms, protecting you from danger. It's like literally becoming one in spirit. It's like soul mate connection. As in, you guys are becoming like a what is the word? Souls are attached. Okay, so like almost like imprinting on somebody. Like he is connecting his spirit with yours. And I'm not talking about witchcraft here. Okay, he's not doing any witchcraft on you. It's more so when a man realizes there's something special about you. And it's almost to the point of he knows you are of his rib. Okay? Like soulmates. But somehow the souls have connected. So that's why there's an attachment. And he attached himself to you. And he's hoping you noticed. Okay? Put a hands up emoji if you have noticed. So let's continue on with the prophetic word. And the Most High says, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? For I have seen you in the midst, and I've seen you, and I am pleased. What now? What now, my darling daughter? He's talking to the Esthers in this hour, the Ruths in this hour. And then he says, Samok, which stands for being crowned. He is putting a mantle, another mantle on you. The official Esther mantle upon you. And he is anointing you for this task. Then he says, Asa Nasi Alak, which means alas. And Nasi also, it means prince. It means chief, a trusted chief, a leader, a community leader. It roots from the word nasa, meaning to rise or to lift up. And then the last word is lak, which stands for to take a bride. So he's telling you somebody that the Most High considers a leader, a prince, okay, is, alas, jump for joy, coming to take a bride. So this person is finally felt the urgency and the desire to want to marry, because he has found the one he wants to marry. Okay? He has found the one his soul yearns for. And that person is you. Hallelujah. Jump for joy. And the Most High is saying it is someone that has divine healing abilities. So he has healing hands. So someone that has the gift of healing. And it's he uses his hands, and there's like supernatural power, and he's able to be very intuitive to heal people. So when you are working along with the individual, or maybe with his own loving care, is going to be healing to your soul and to your mind and to your heart. And it's going to not just be a regular hug, in other words. It's going to feel extra power within it. Okay? So you're like, what's going on here? And I'm going to say, so we're human, but we have supernatural abilities, right? Because we're not of this world. Okay? We are the divine creator of the universe creation. And so throughout this journey, we've been learning that we have divine gifts. Okay, some people are really good at sports. Some people are with athletic abilities. Some people are really good at being a chef, you know. Some people have the gift of interpretation of dreams and visions, and they're a prophet or prophetess. Some people have a gift in the arts, so they're really good at dance and or art, painting and drawing, and maybe music comes really natural to them. Some people have the gift of tongues, and they are praying in tongues, and they can have the gift of interpretation of tongues. And some people have the power to deliver individuals from evil spirits and also heal with their hands. That's amazing. Okay? So this can happen. And your ordained spouse has this gift. And the Most High orchestrated in such a way where whatever he provides of his loving care, of his profession even, so this could even be a doctor, okay, could be always healing you, very intuitive with you and your body and your alignments, okay? And I can't tell you exactly what type of doctor it could be. I'm just throwing that out there because, I mean, he has healing hands, right? But it doesn't necessarily have to be a doctor. Automatically, his hands are going to be healing if that wasn't his profession, okay? So that is confirmation right there who the Most High is sending you, which is wonderful. It's like match made in heaven. He's going to have the gifts of exactly what you need to be repaired. He has been anointed for such task. And as he learns more about you throughout this journey, and you as well learn about him, he just starts loving that task to be that person for you in your life. So yes, he is telling you who the individual is. Hallelujah. This is so wonderful. Then there's something else of lifting up, being lifted up as a prince, a leader. Okay? And the word Nasi also means president, or refers to a leader lifted above others. So in other words, he's the MVP. Okay? And it's going to be quite evident to everyone that he is the MVP. And that's the person that the Most High is sending you. And you're like, oh my gosh. He's sending you someone of grandeur, okay? Strength and divine abilities. And you are the wife to be hand in hand with this man. That's a humongous responsibility. No wonder the Most High was prepping you all this time. No wonder it took a little bit. Because to be the wife has a role that can either, obviously we're talking about positivity here, so there is you are the one that covers him. So he's working the fields, right? And the actual word name of Eve, the actual Hebrew definition is someone, I think it means warrior. So as he's working the fields, your job is to cover your spouse, your ordained spouse, the one that the Most High is sending you. He is needing that divine protection. So you're praying in the spirit for him, like you've been doing all along, okay? And more so, obviously, when you guys are married. But to get to the marriage point, you need to be praying for him, because there's some warfare that comes and has been trying to attack and distract from this union. Because the Most High has set you together, but the enemy has been trying to make sure it doesn't happen. All right? Because he knows how great you guys would be once you guys are together. So at this point in time, your ordained spouse has discovered you. There's something that he sees in you that he feels he needs to connect and bond with. He feels this spiritual connection. And you are equipped for this task, okay? But the Most High sent you in his direction of his garden. Okay, that means that you are basically more so ready. All right? And you are also anointed to be able to handle and carry this responsibility, okay, with authority, spiritual authority, to be his wife. And he needs that covering, because if he's a healer, that's why you don't put your hands on just anybody when you pray. That's why they say that. That's why you don't wear other people's clothes. That's why they say don't touch people just randomly. There's an aura on people. Okay, and people are like to have their personal bubble space. Okay, but when you enter a personal bubble space, like a lot of the times, let me give you an example. Physicians do. I'm giving you this example because the Most High gave healer, physician. That's what the word asa means. Okay. They're touching people all the time. Okay. So a lot of the time, their power, their essence could be expelled from them, and then it's getting transferred to the other person. And it's like a spiritual transfer that's invisible, that you can't see, but you can feel it. Just like the story when Yahusha was walking the streets, and the woman that bled for years ran through the crowd, squeezed through, and he was walking away with the the disciples, right? But he suddenly felt like someone touched him, and he stopped. But this is the thing, though. a bunch of people were touching him because he was going through the crowd, and obviously his shoulder was brushing against others, and his garments were being brushed against other people's garments because it's like a very narrow walkway and you're squeezing through, right? So obviously you're going to touch, but this touch felt different. That's why he stopped. He says, no, somebody touched me. Because that woman, when she touched his garment, she, in her heart and mind, she knew she had faith. And she knew that if she touches his garment, he will, some supernatural power will be released and she will be healed. She had that much faith. It was monumental faith, okay? And that's when that supernatural transfer occurred. And the key point to this was her faith. So you need to pray for your ordained spouse, because whether he's a physician or not, but he still has the power to heal with his hands. Okay? And he needs his energy rejuvenated. But the Most High sent you because you are the perfect one to rejuvenate his strength. Your love and your care and your divine prayers is what's going to rejuvenate him, so he doesn't lose essence and virtue, and because someone is there to cover him now. And by being next to you, he's going to feel that. He's going to realize that there's something special about you, that he feels a whole lot more energy. He feels a whole lot happier. He feels virtue entering back into his body. Okay? And he needs you. He needs you to protect him. Okay? Because obviously he could pray for himself, but that's what Most High called for Adam and Eve. You know, to be her to be his helper. So the name means helper, but it actually means prayer warrior in Hebrew. Okay, so let's continue on. Then the Most High says in conversation in the secret place, you have awakened something in him. He responds well to additions. Okay, so this is someone that, again, is shy. Okay, could be more introvert. So they recharge in solitude, and or you could probably recharge with one other additional person that you feel very comfortable with, being an introvert. And then and or shy. Okay, so that means shy people don't usually initiate conversations, right? But he's saying when you contribute, when you guys have these moments together and you contribute a question, you contribute with a compliment, you contribute with a comment, you sort of do an addition, okay, and you sort of add to the conversation, and that allows him to open up a little bit more and provide his vast knowledge. And now you get to see who he really is, and he feels a lot more comfortable expressing. Okay, maybe, and later on he'll be the one to initiate conversation because he'll feel so comfortable around you. Shy people, in other words, in general, will feel more comfortable, right? Okay, so let's continue on. Now you're thinking, oh man, oh wow, this is just amazing to be chosen to be this person's wife, right? And you're going to ask yourself, why me? And then the Most High is going to answer you in this moment, okay? He's going to say, your beauty. The time he's fumbled his words, you're kind. You do not correct him, and he sees his error and he corrects himself. He reiterates what he wanted to say, and your maturity is resounding. Your beautiful soul and smile pulls him in. You are not too much and that he cannot handle. So this person is healing you, okay, through his hands. And you can rest in his hands. And in his arms you will be able to rest. So some of you have been dealing with a dysregulated nervous system. Probably can root from even childhood. Or corrupted relationships from the past that have done a lot of damage and broken a lot of trust, and you excuse me, you kind of struggle with that. And during the month of June, though, you probably on a more healthier mental state and are understanding how to trust again. Okay, so you two are kind of like opposites in a way. Okay, he could be more analytical, straight shooter to the point, right? And you are more a person that speaks with examples and globally. The beauty of this is he caught on very quickly, and then he is adapting and learning to speak more globally now. What I mean by the word globally is someone that speaks with a story. They share their experience and they have to say the entire story. Have you been around someone that has to say the entire story to be able to get to the point? Okay, so it's quite different than what he has been around or used to, okay? But he is starting to fall in love with that. And seeing how that is a very beautiful way to understand things. And so the point is that now he is trying to speak in that way of how you see the world globally. Okay? So that he can accommodate and help you understand whatever he wants to explain to you. Okay? Which is very lovely to have someone, let's say, cater, have grace and cater to you in that way. When, let's say, you've been around individuals who have a very, very high IQ, okay? And what comes along with those who have an incredible high IQ is sometimes those individuals lack interpersonal communication skills because they don't know how to be patient enough to explain it in layman's terms. Okay? And so this individual may be incredibly intelligent, okay? Like a very, very high IQ. And you've been around individuals. You might have dated people. You might have had a counterfeit relationship recently with someone that has incredibly high IQ. When I'm talking about incredibly high, I'm talking about past 160. Okay? Maybe 180. Like really, really high. Like genius level. But just because you hang around people that have these genius minds doesn't mean it's pleasant all the time. Some of the time, a lot of the time, it could have been Wow, something stuck in my throat. Must be very important to share. Okay, it might have been a lot of lack of compassion and empathy, sympathy, and clashy. Okay, just because someone has a high IQ doesn't mean they have high EQ, emotional intelligence. All right, but the person that the Most High is sending you is someone that has a high IQ, but also a high emotional intelligence, EQ. Because if he didn't have a high EQ, he wouldn't bend and and like bend around his own analytical articulation, okay, which is a straight shooter, straight to the point, like an outline. He would elaborate a bit more, share examples with a storyline. He wouldn't like do take the even time to even do that. Okay? But he does because it could be part of his job, his profession to be that way. But being around you has caused the individual to want to learn better communication skills. Okay? Body language skills. He's a man, so from a woman's perspective, body language skills. And also just, compassion. He's naturally going to be a compassionate person. Okay? So then the Most High says, your beautiful soul and smile pulls him in. You are not too much. Okay, so we already said that part. Then he says, you speak globally. Now he's intuitive when you feel the need to speak. Okay. So the Most High doesn't want you to hold, because in the beginning you may have not had a smooth sailing conversation. It could have been cut short, could have been a little bit dry. But it has quickly evolved. So he doesn't want you to, I guess, think of that and drag it on and be like set in stone, because this person is evolving. And just how the Most High has been working on you, he has also been working on this individual, okay? Then he says, this is the key, okay? Where he says this. He makes mistakes and he trips up on his words and doesn't want to leave things on a bad note, and that counts for something. Not everybody that has said it wrong, that has said it in a ruthless manner, comes back and tries to reiterate and rephrase their comment. Some people just leave it and they flatline it, okay? And they almost can burn bridges with the way they speak so harshly. But he's saying this person takes the time to rephrase. And why is he doing that? Because he caught himself. Why is he also doing that? Because he saw your body language and your facial expressions. Okay? And it matters how you feel. You matter to him. That's why he's going to be careful with his words. Plus, that's another sign that someone cares about you more than just a friend and or an acquaintance, is when they really are careful on what they say. And they rephrase it and reiterate. A lot of people who feel comfortable and they're just friends and old pals, they'll just speak, and they'll speak a little quicker, and they just will ramble on, and they will be loud, and they'll just be, it's said the way it's said, and they move on, and they don't think twice about it. When someone really likes you, really loves you, likes you, they will speak a little slower when they speak to you, okay? Because they're thinking hard, they're concentrating, and they're wanting to make sure that every word that they say is impactful and that they don't hurt your feelings. And these are the body language and the facial expressions that I want you to start paying attention to. Someone that really doesn't like you in that way, they're not going to spend that much time being that careful. Okay? And so when someone really cares about you more than just you being a customer, you know, a co-worker or a patient or, you know, something along the lines, they are going to be also extra smiley. Okay? And being very careful with the way what comes out of their mouth. Like, they don't want to offend you in any kind of way at any point in time. And that is very good, because that means they have a high level of emotional intelligence, and you need that. For this relationship to work, you need someone that has those skills. Okay. So then suddenly in that moment, I had a vision of a pink sweater, and it had this very soft yarn. Okay, it almost felt velvety, and it had this warmth and softness to the style. It looked like a crop top with a turtleneck and some baggy sleeves, but it's a knitted sweater so that you could see little holes, right, within the sweater. But the level of comfort and style of that sweater drew me in, to the point where in the vision I wanted to touch the sweater. I had this desire to touch the fabric of the sweater. Okay? That feeling came along with the vision. Okay. So I asked the Most High, why did you show me this vision? And then he says, because this is the level that your ordained spouse is at, that he wants to touch you. And I'm not talking about in a sexual way. Okay? I'm talking about the Most High is setting in for both of you to have this desire to really enjoy the style that both of you wear. Do you recall that the chapters prior to this, the Most High says that style matters this time? Not that you never dressed down and you didn't, you know, have a good sense of style prior to meeting this person, but he's trying to emphasize that that individual is going to be paying attention to your style. As in, not just the way the clothing looks on you, and he's going to be paying attention to the fabrics that you chose, to the colors that you chose. Literally. Even if there's some symbols or some numbers on the shirt, the blouse, the pants, the shoes, everything means something to this person. And they're reading you through your clothing. They're reading your style, your mental state. Okay, this person is highly intuitive, highly detailed. And you're like, wow, this is so amazing. Like, that is such a compliment in itself. Like, you never met anybody like that, right? Okay. Because you know why I'm saying this? Because you do that. But you never met someone else that did it as well. Like, where your mind went when you look at someone and you see them wearing that awesome jacket, okay? That fabric, that thick canvas, Looks almost like cotton or linen, but it's a thicker fabric, so now it's called canvas. And the hues, um, it's just vibrant and bold, whatever color it could be, okay? But I guess right now I'm just focusing on a certain color. And you're just like, where did he buy that? Or you could say, like, like, what is he feeling today to want to wear that color? Like, he must be feeling bold, and invigorated or something like that, right? And then that's going through your mind, but you didn't know that somebody else was thinking that way, in the opposite direction, and it's towards you. Okay? And it's not only those, but there's going to be a desire to stare at that person, to admire that person. In the past chapters, the Most High was stating that you're going to be gaped at. The word lesha, you're going to be gaped at. You're going to be where there's only eyes. That person only has eyes for you. Okay? But they're going to be so delighted in you. Like, they're just going to love your fashion. Okay? They're just going to love it. And they're just going to... I'm not saying you have to go all bedazzled every single time. Over to the extreme. But, have some great hygiene. Okay? And don't, take care of your hair. You don't have it all frizzy or anything, Use your hair products. Get your eyebrows waxed, and looking like you went through your Esther phase of prepping, okay? All the time. Always looking the best that you can look. Not for yourself, even. Not just for the individual, but for yourself. Love yourself. Okay. Also, it's not just that they like the look. Now both of you are going to be going through a phase that's going to, I guess, go on and forevermore now. Okay, because you're going to be together. That there's this desire to touch the fabric. That's what the Most High was saying. He wants to touch you in a comforting, loving manner. Or you could notice some kind of embroidery on his shirt or something, and you want to instantly, you're going after to touch it because you're like, oh wow, that is just so intricate. But there's another feeling underneath that's coming through. It's more like you realize you may want to touch his chest. It's not just that you want to touch the embroidered section that was near, the patch was near his chest. You realize that there's a subconscious feeling behind the need to touch where the embroidered piece was. Okay? And so I don't know what to say about that. It's going to be quite intense. And both of you guys are going to be feeling it. He's going to feel it and catch you when you have those inclination. Okay? And then you may also feel it as well. Okay? That there's a desire to touch the fabric of that other person's clothes. Okay? And it was a feeling that you have never had before to that extreme level. That's why I need to give you a heads up. Because it is heightened all the more later on in these chapters. Okay, so then he says, his smile says it all. So he's going to be adoring your style. Okay, especially when you wear your own unique, not the typical look, okay, but you have a new flair, like it's just a different, it's busting fire, okay, And now he's going to notice, and it's going to be just all the more enticing. Then the Most High says, Shammai Aliyah Salah, in the secret place, which means attentive, listening, and obedient. And then Aliyah stands for ascend, going up, elevation. And Salah means to send someone for someone. So he wants you to be in divine obedience. He wants you to be attentive. There's a way that you handle this situation and this person. Okay? And he wants you to use wisdom and understanding. And you need to be responsive to it. You can't just let that individual do all of the work to bond. Okay? Then he says, Asi, Asi, Sili. Asi stands for myrtle tree. It also means the name Hadassah, which is Esther's original Hebrew name, which means, so she changed it to Esther, which means hidden. So Esther could be a name in like Persian name. Okay, so then the word Sili means you are mine. So someone is saying to you, which is your ordained spouse, Esther, you are mine. So this person already sees you as queen status, okay? He's going to make you his queen, in other words. And he's already proclaimed you his. This is why I was saying this earlier on in the video. That someone has already pronounced you that they want you to be theirs for himself. And this was back, I received this in February, and the Most High saying it was in getting initiated in March. Now I'm recording this in June. So this entire time, this person has already established in his heart and mind that he wants you for himself. And he may be acting casual and friendly and nonchalant. Okay, and he's been giving some subtle hints. But he's desiring something. Okay, and that's you. All right, then I hear the word Shimi Mak, which means that hears or obeys. My reputation, my fame, renowned, or famous. That's what Shimi stands for. And then Mak means a gang. It means task laborer. It means tribute, task workers, labor band or gang. Taskmasters, serfdom, gang or body of forced laborers. Okay, so there's a group of people watching you that are workers that are working to assist you, okay? And you are going to become famous. In their eyes. As in, the Most High is he is resolving your reputation, because in the past it has possibly gone to the muck with others defaming your character, jealous, envious fanatics, okay? Those individuals who were supposed to support you instead did not, and they had tried to damage your reputation. Now the Most High has sent you to a new group of people to commingle with, interact with, and these people do not see you with those other eyes that had tried to defame your character. They see you for who you are. And the Most High is not just going to bring you back to the level that you were before, just, you know, a regular person. He's actually going to have you be famous. And maybe you're not ready. You feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be famous. I'm not ready for this. You have to not reject what the Most High wants for your life. You're like, I didn't ask to be famous. I just asked to be accepted and to fix my reputation. I know. But the way the Most High does things, he does things in a magnificent surprise factor manner. And he's just not just going to have you enter back into this world as a regular person. He wants you on the front page. And this might be a little much to receive because you may be an introvert. But the Most High is he's working with you so that you can be also a bit of an extrovert, to be able to handle this mantle, this new assignment, this position, this new persona. Anyways, somehow you're going to be famous, and the way you're going to be famous is more so probably globally, but more so he's starting it with the group of people that you're around. They're going to be talking about you. Okay? Whatever you say stays with them, and they talk about it later. Whatever you wear, it stays with them, and then they talk about your style later. However you treat them, it stays with them, and then they talk about you later. And you're becoming famous in these smaller circles. Okay? Whatever you do with the work of your hands, remember the word said laborer? Okay. It stays with them. Okay? And they are just astounded by it. So now it's referencing Deuteronomy 20:11, and it shall be if it make the answer of peace comply with the terms of the peace offered, and open unto thee the gates of the city and its garrisons, and deliver all into their hands. Then it shall be that all the people that is found therein, some having made their escape before the surrender of the city, shall be tributaries unto thee. Pay a yearly tax imposed upon them, as the Moabites sometimes did, and which was paid in lambs and rams with the wool. 2 Kings 3:4. Okay, they referenced that little piece for 2 Kings. Okay, so now let me elaborate further in a commentary or what that means. And they shall serve thee not as slaves, or be a continual bondage and servitude, but upon occasion be called out to any public service, as joining them against their enemies, rebuilding palaces and cities, or repairing walls of cities and the like, and in general acknowledge their dominion over them and their own subjection to them by paying an annual tribute or sending gifts unto them. Thus the Moabites, Syrians, Edomites, and became the servants of David. 2 Samuel 8:2, 2 Samuel 8:6, and 2 Samuel 8:14. Now, this is talking about public service. You may be put in a position where you volunteer your service. You bring gifts to the office, or you bring gifts to the clinic, or you bring wherever you're going to the, if you guys met at church, you bring it to, you volunteer, and you bring something to the table. Literally gifts, snacks, okay? Something. Maybe of your volunteer service. Maybe you're cleaning the church. Maybe you're cleaning the office. Maybe you're doing something of volunteer work, okay? And they're noticing how generous and comforting and hospitable and nurturing. What else? Loving, caring, noticing details. How a feminine's touch, in other words. They're noticing your feminine era, glow era, your feminine era of acts of service, your love language, okay? And that is highlighting something, because you could be someone that maybe lacks, but you're still willing to give. Like you have some lack in your life, but you're still willing to give. And you give out of the kindness, and what you give is lovely. And what they thought they were living without, and then they realize, oh wow, this is lovely. I can definitely live with this going forward. I didn't know I needed this in my life, and I do need it. Okay? And right here it talks about Esther 10:1, Mordecai's greatness. Now King Xerxes laid a tribute on the land and on the coastlands of the sea. Now in context. Now King Xerxes laid a tribute on the land and on the coast of the sea, and all the accomplishments of his authority and strength, and the full account of the greatness of Mordecai to which the king advanced him. Are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the king of Media and Persia? So for Mordecai the Jew was second only to the king Xerxes, and great among the Jews in favor with his many kinsmen, one who sought the good of his people, and one who spoke for the welfare of his whole nation. So how you're going to become famous is, you remember the story of Mordecai. He was always looking out for the Jews and always looking out for the king. So your king is your ordained spouse. Okay? And how you cater, and how and how Mordecai, he's the one that caught a malicious attack, and he notified the king of that, and that caused his name to be recorded in a book that later on the king Xerxes woke up troubled, couldn't sleep, and wanted that book retrieved so he could see what he can work on, and it was to reward Mordecai. So then he was dressed in his royal purple robe and ridden all downtown, and everybody knew that he was his right-hand man. Okay? And that is coming for you. But Mordecai served without receiving anything in return. And that's key right there. And that's where you're at in the month of June. Hallelujah. So continue serving, okay? Continue being humble in prayer, praying for the group that you are amongst, and serving. Now the Most High says, Ah ki ya Allah shak, a surprise. The hand of Yahuwah is at hand. So then it says Salah Shalati, which means to send someone for someone. But it also means to I sent, or I have sent. It also is something along the lines of sending an email, a letter, or a parcel, or a person. That's what Shalati means. So he says to send someone for someone, which he's sending the ordained spouse. He's saying, I have sent. He already sent it. He already sent the person you already been interacting with, that individual. But now it's also saying Shalati, an email. It's talking about a letter or an email. So you are to give the individual little notes or emails or some little form of message, like a message in a bottle or something, like an email, like a connection to connect with that person. Try to, send out an invite on one of the social media, and or send it through the regular email or something, okay? To connect. Why? Because that's how he knows that you're interested in him on a deeper level than just a friend or an acquaintance. Okay, then he says, Ika Ika Asaba Maya Ali. There exists, he says, alas, to satisfy creative miracles. Ascend high, elevated champion. So the word Ali means ascended high, elevated. It also means champion. It also means king of kings or an emperor. Wow. Okay, so then it says E. And the E means my Yahuwah, derived from Al Yahuwah. It signifies a personal connection to the divine. High or ascended. What I was saying earlier is the way that the Most High has this deep connection with you and you with Him, you need to continue that devoted relationship while you are advancing in this relationship with your ordained spouse. Okay? And then, in other words, you're ascending because you have passed the test. That's amazing. That's wonderful. Jump for joy. But that word also means fence, a thread, or a window. Okay. So now I hear, there's something that you need to say to your ordained spouse. And I'm going to say it first, what the Most High said for you to say, and then it's going to make sense of why it was stated. Okay? I am pleased you told me your feelings. Thank you for sharing your feelings with me. I can share mine. Okay, it's the way it kind of rolled out is like if he already shared how he feels about you, right? So then all of a sudden it says you share yours. So that's pivotal right here. That means it's coming around the corner now. Because when I receive the prophetic word, that means it is existing in heaven. This is prophetic word that's manifesting like already now. Okay, so, and we're in the month of June. So he's going to tell you how he feels. But it might advance. You need to do every step here. And he wants you to send you a letter or he wants you to send him a compliment, and or, some inclination that helps relieve some of that anxiety off of that person. So they're not like worried that they're not sure how you feel about them. They need to know for sure so that they can have the confidence to be able to tell you how they feel about you. Okay? And then it says here, now during this time, there are going to be counterfeits. Okay? Many that are going to be trying to tell you how they feel about you. And they're going to be possibly more like obvious and blunt about it. And you're like, if they said it straight out, that means that they like me more than the ordained spouse. And the thing is, what I'm trying to tell you is, that ship has sailed. And what I'm trying to say here is, the counterfeit, the ex, may even cry that you do not take them back. They may even cry more than once. They may cry, okay? And they may be blunt about it. And they might be stalkerish and or blatant about it. But just because they are doesn't mean you go and you give them a chance. Again, that ship has sailed, okay? Now, with the other counterfeits that are trying to come at you, because right now you're giving off this glow. You're giving off this feminine, receiving era. You're in your feminine glow. You're in your feminine queen, baddie era, okay? And you're going to, there's like this invisible vibe that you're giving off. And men that are highly masculine are attracted to. And so they're coming at you. And so that's not your fault, okay? That you're giving off this vibe. But meanwhile, also set your boundaries and, stay safe and just stay in your own lane, stay in your own path. You already know that the Most High has this beautiful treasure, your ordained spouse, waiting for you, okay? And he's shy, though. Doesn't mean his feelings are not true. He's just shy. But he's coming out of his bubble. If you hear this, comment that the Most High wants you to tell him, I am pleased you told me your feelings. Thank you for sharing your feelings with me. I can share mine. So you felt comfortable to share yours because he finally shared his and confirmed it. Okay? And he's like literally coming out of his shell. Okay? Right now in this time frame. And that what you've been waiting for all this time. Okay? Special moments arise. And then I hear the word Osa 3 times, which means salvation. Yahuwah is salvation. So you're being saved in this hour. Your ordained spouse is coming to rescue you. And then I hear Shili Asa, which means you are mine, Hadassah. That is so romantic, isn't it? Okay, so then he says Sabah, and it says to satisfy. And during that time frame, it was very interesting, but I had come across this specific word by Samuel E. Malumbe saying a shy guy is about to speak. Hallelujah. Can you believe that? I'm receiving this prophetic word during that time in the month of February. I haven't even put it on the channel yet, okay? I just received it. And then on the same day, I'm just on YouTube. Because unless I go on YouTube and I'm getting ready to prep another video, or I look what's on there and I know the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit is speaking to me, right? And he plugs this right in front of my face. And it just all the more confirms that a shy guy is about to speak. He's about to share how he feels. This is pivotal now. This is a shocking surprise that is coming for you. Now during that time frame as well, okay, there is another lady. We're going to call her Clarissa for, staying anonymous. She goes to her appointment, and she's looking so cute, snatched, and she is just doing her, she's just doing her self-care, just doing her feminine glow, okay? And people are just loving her bedazzled look, okay? And they're just talking up a storm about it. Like, it's not just your ordained spouse that's noticing your style for this one lady, Clarissa. She is experiencing firsthand live that this is occurring. This prophetic word is manifesting in her life right now. It's not just her future ordained spouse, that she's understanding who it is now, she is realizing other people are always complimenting and noticing. Okay, because why? The Most High has beautified you all the more in this hour. Okay, so it's not just going to be your ordained spouse that notices you, it's going to be everybody else. And then they talk about you afterwards. So one is becoming famous in this little circle, and it's just going to expand all the more. Okay? And the Most High says, just continue to be yourself. Okay? And the Most High says, ka yi sapa, which means, alas, in this manner, a shocking surprise, be watchful. And the shocking surprise is that he is stating that you were on the spotlight, and they are relaying what was stated with them to the ordained spouse. Everything's being documented, and or they're just talking about you later and it just sort of comes up, or he's asking about it. And you, what the Most High wants you to do is continue to be you. Okay? Just be yourself. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me on this prophetic word, and I'll see you in the next video. Shalom.